Right, very warm welcome to you. It's just short of 8 o'clock here in the UK. Nice to have you all with us. I hope you've enjoyed the four hands that you've played tonight. More declare replay problems. Alan, I'm afraid, is still a little bit struggling with his voice. He's been very croaky over the last couple of weeks. That's why you've got me again tonight. But Alan will be back with you, we hope, next week. Okay. The first board that you played is on your screen. And the answer to that is I really don't know whether these hands. I think they're more 2/1 than ACOL. I think, Michael, but I'm not absolutely sure. But the thing is that we're more interested in the play than the bidding. The bidding in many cases is sort of somewhat incidental to get to the contract. But here it's gone. This looks like a 5 cards major situation. 1 heart, 2 hearts, 4 hearts. We'll give you the auction because that's what it was. 1 heart. I can't imagine South bidding 2 hearts unless he knows his partner's got 5, so he bids 2 hearts. And his partner bids 4 hearts. And we were told that the lead was, I'm sure, the Jack of Spades. So let's get the passes and passes. Here we go. Oh, well done, Bob. Okay. Now, on that lead, it doesn't look as if we're going to make any spade tricks. All right. But we've hopefully got at least 3 club tricks, depending on how they break. And of course, we can see that they don't break, but 3 club tricks we can fairly be confident of rather than rough them. So 3 clubs, 2 diamonds is 5. No spades. We need all the hearts unless the clubs are breaking. If the clubs are breaking, then we don't have a club loser, then we can afford to lose a heart. But you don't get these problems by hoping for things that break all the time. So what's the problem here? Well, it doesn't really matter whether we cover the first one or not. I'm going to continue with the second one, and we'll put the king on now because that's our only chance of making a trick. And now he's going to carry on with another spade, and we're going to rough it. Okay. Now we've only got 1 entry to dummy. That's the club. And then we've got to tackle the hearts. But how should we tackle the hearts? We need to hope that, that the clubs don't break, that West has got the king of hearts, but we need to look a little bit further into the situation in case he's got 4 hearts. Let's just see what happens if, first of all, if we cross the dummy with a club and lead a little heart, which is what other people will do, or even if we lead the queen, maybe that's looking more likely, but let's try leading the queen then. Okay, he covers, wound with the ace, or does he? Now we've got 3 more heart tricks, we don't have a problem. Right, let's undo it and see what happens if we don't cover with the king. Because let's face it, West knows that North has got 5 and that therefore his partner has got 1. So we play low. Now we play another one. Take the finesse. What a shame. They haven't broken and we've got no more entries to dummy. So now we have a heart leader. You're absolutely right, Michael. We're going to go back to the point where we led that queen of hearts, but we have to see it coming. Michael is absolutely right. We lead the 9. Then if he doesn't cover that, we stay in dummy. So Sherlock Holmes, is that we can get under the 9. And now we can lead the queen. And if he doesn't cover that, we are still in dummy. If he does cover it, we don't have a heart loser. as things go, fairly simple, really. But the sort of thing that a lot of people get wrong.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't be roughing at all, Bob. You shouldn't be roughing at all, because if you try roughing, you'll be roughing in the long hand. If you rough in the long hand again, you'll set in. No, I didn't rough in at all. I roughed the spade, but it won't help you to rough it high. Yeah, I roughed the spade the third round. Yeah, and then what happened? Did he lead the 9 from table? If he leaves the queen, then the left-hand opponent will still make a trick. We'll play it back for you in a second. Exactly. Yeah, you were defending, were you, Ratner? You got a trump trick if he roughs it high. Yeah, yeah. But your partner discarded the club, even though they can see 4 clubs in dummy. That's that's a little bit on the criminal side. When you can see length in dummy in a suit that you've got 4 off and dummy's got 4 off, that's not a suit you want to discard. And presumably your partner would have given a count on the clubs, so the 9 would have said, I've either got 1 or 2. If it's 2, then declarer's only got 3. And you need to keep them because the other 4th one would be a dummy, but you can't get to it. But if it's only 1, you definitely need to hang on to the club. All right. But from this point on, now declarer's got 2 diamonds and 2 clubs, and he'll give you a club at the end. Okay. But let's see what happens. We will claim our 10 tricks here. Here we go. And we'll put it back to the table and see what happens if we rough that 3rd one, that 3rd spade. All right, we'll just bid 4 hearts as north. See what happens. Right, so we get the spades again. Right, this time we'll rough with the 10. Let's say that we do. Okay, now we can get over to dummy again with a club. See what's going to happen. If we lead the queen, this time he will cover it because he's got the king 8 7 6. The 9's in dummy. Declarer's probably got the ace jack, but he'll still make a heart trick. And the same if we lead the 9. Won't make any difference. He'll still cover it. If he leads a small one, he won't. Whichever heart is led from dummy, the declarer is going to lose another trick. Let's put the king on that. And you can see that West has still got the 8 7 6 and declarer has only got 2 hearts that can beat those 3 cards. So it's going to go off if declarer tries that tactic. So let's claim that one as 1 off. There we go. And that was board 1. Do we have any questions or comments on board 1? Don't be shy. We love to hear your questions and your comments. You can ask them. Make sure you ask them to the table. No questions. Okay, so we will show you board 2. On board 2. Okay. Come on. There we go. Board 2. Here it is. Upload. Oh, need to mute people. It says participants. Mute all. Right. Here we go. Everyone's muted again. There you go. Again, we have a competitive auction. So the auction this time goes 1 club from east. One spade overcall. Pass from west. Doesn't want to disturb one spade. One no trump from north. I really don't like your spades partner, but I do have a stock in clubs of some description and some values. South doesn't like that. I'll bid my other suit. Of course, this is a classic hand for Gestem. If those of you that play Gestem, I like the diamonds partner. 4 diamonds. Pass. 5 diamonds. What would you bid instead, Michael? If the bidding goes 1 club, 1 spade, what would you do? You would pass. I think you're a little bit too good to pass, personally. I think if your partner's made a vulnerable overcall, it should be a reasonable hand. I have a rule with most of my partners that vulnerable overcall would be a hand that I would open the bidding with at the 1 level. So this hand qualifies for that. I would open this 1 spade. If I'm not vulnerable, it doesn't need to be anything like as strong as that. It just needs to be a decent suit. But that's my own personal preference. Not everybody sticks with that. But here we are in 5 diamonds. And this again is a classic case of a blind spot, of not seeing the wood for the trees, really. I think, let's see what happens. We're told that the lead is the Queen of Clubs. And I imagine that you will ruff it. But now, where's our tricks going to come from? Well, just look at the quality of the diamonds. So it looks like we can actually ruff 4 more clubs in our hand, because they can't be over ruffed. So that would be 5 tricks, and 2 spades would be 7. A heart trick would be 8, and 3 spade ruffs in dummy with the ace, queen, 10 of diamonds, which can't be over ruffed. That would be 11. Right, let's just go through that count again. We've taken 1 ruff. If we get our entries right, we can make 4 more ruffs in our hand with the king, jack, 9, 8. They can't be over ruffed, and 3 spade ruffs in dummy, because the 2 of spade, 2 of diamonds might be over ruffed, so we're not going to try ruffing with that one. And a heart trick, that would be 11. Right, but let's see what can happen. And this is what happened at one table, I know, and this is the sort of blind spot that can happen. You should realise that you need to set up the heart trick early, and certainly this is what one declarer did. In this particular hand, on this table I was watching, the right-hand opponent went up with a spade, led a spade back after the ace, and then declare a ruff to spade. Didn't flush the king, but ruffed to spade, but ruffed it high just in case. Then he ruffed the club. Then he ruffed another spade. And what did East do? East discarded his 10 of hearts. And now we can't make it anymore, because that king of hearts, when we play it, will get ruffed. And if we carry on with the cross ruff, then East is going to make too many tricks. So if we do like that, we are going to go off. Let's put it back to the table. And we're quite right. We need to set up that heart trick straight away. Okay, well, where South is going to be in 5 diamonds, so we'll just pass here. We remember it, East opened a club. Yes, Bob. I mean, it isn't just simply a matter of cashing winners, though you should do that when you're cross ruffing anyway. But no, you don't need to do that. What if you play a trump back on in defence, you mean, trump back, that won't stop the setting up the tricks, I don't think. Let's have a look. Okay, so we get the lead of the Queen of Clubs again. We ruff it. And now we're going to play a heart because we need to set up the heart before East gets a chance of taking it away. Now let's say that East does play a diamond back. Ruff. Now we're going to cash the King of Hearts. Before East has a chance of getting it away. Now what tricks have we taken? We've taken 3. We can make 2 spade tricks. So we can ruff another club, that won't hurt us. And we'll cash our 2 spades. And now we've got a high cross ruff and we'll give them a heart at the end. We'll ruff 3 spades in dummy and 2 clubs in our hand. Well, it doesn't matter whether you throw a heart or a club, Rutner. Doesn't matter. As long as you don't ruff that King of Spades, it makes no difference. Rather give them a club at the end or a heart at the end. Really doesn't matter. We're going to ruff 3 spades in dummy and 2 losers in our hand. As I've played it here, throwing the club away, then we're going to give them a heart at the end. If I'd thrown the heart away, we'd have had to give them a club at the end. Or we'd lead a heart from our hand. We'd have to give them one more trick. But the point is we make 11. That's the difference. The secret is we have to set that heart up early and we have to cash it early because otherwise East will discard. Well, we needed the 2 spade tricks when he played a trump back, Mike. If he didn't play the trump back, we didn't need to cash 2 spades. But once he plays a trump back, then we've got 1 fewer club ruffs. Now we need the spades to stand up for 2 rounds. That's a good question. Any other questions on board 2 or comments? How do we count to 11? Where you count up to 10 and then you add 1, Ratner. You simply need to count your tricks. Let's just put the hand back up to the table. Let's do it again. Right, and we say we're going to make 5 diamonds. Here we go. Let's count our tricks. Right, we've got the Queen of Clubs lead. Come on. Now, we've made 1 trick. And if the opposition don't attack diamonds, we can make 4 club tricks, 4 club ruffs in our hand, and 3 spade ruffs in dummy, which can't be over ruffed, and a heart. So 1 trick we've already made, 4 club tricks, that will be 5, 1 heart will be 6, 2 spades will be 8, and then we'll make 3 diamonds in dummy, ruffing spades, which can't be over ruffed. So that's what we need to do at the beginning of the hand. We need to count where are our tricks coming from. But we have to be aware that, as Bob pointed out earlier on, if you're going to embark on a cross ruff, the golden rule is you cash your side suit winners first. Because if you don't, there is a danger that somebody will discard from a suit that you were hoping to make a trick in. In this case, East will discard heart on the third round of spades. He can't over rough dummy, but he can get rid of his heart, and then he will get a heart ruff and you won't make your king. Okay, that's board 2. Do we have any other questions? No, we only need 7. We only need 7 trumps, Ratner. If the 2 spades stand up, we're going to make 4 club tricks in our hand. That's 4. 3 spade ruffs in dummy. That's 7. 1 heart is well, making 5 club ruffs in hand altogether. 5. 3 in dummy ruffing spades is 8. 2 spade tricks is 10, and 1 heart trick is 11. Yes, they should try to stop the ruff. That is true, but it doesn't help them, because declarer is still going to make those tricks. Let's move on to board 3, if I can find board 3. And I was reminded when I was watching one player play this hand of a term that I have used on numerous occasions. And indeed, the lady who was playing this remembered me saying this, that I said she was a bridge technician. And do you all know what the definition of a bridge technician is? Well, I will tell you. A bridge technician is a player that knows exactly what to do 10 seconds after they've done something different. And Glynis is a classic example of this. You know, she did one thing and realized just a few seconds later that she should have done something different. The secret of this game is spotting the second solution before you make the first one. I'm not talking about you. No, I'm not talking about you, Josie. I'm talking about Glynis, and Glynis doesn't mind me talking about her, I know.
Not at all.
Let's just have a look at it. And we're going to be in 3 no trumps. There's no opposition bidding, so the auction actually goes 2 no trumps, 3 no trumps after 3 passes. So we go to 3 passes, and then it goes 2 no trumps, 3 no trumps, but we're just going to bid 3 no trumps. And this is really simply a matter of looking ahead. We get the lead of the 2 of spades, we're told. North puts in the 10, and it's oh so tempting to win with the jack, isn't it? It's the instinctive thing to do. But before we do that, let's have a look and see, where are our tricks coming from? You've heard me say that a few times. What have we got? Well, if we take this jack of spades, we're going to have 2 spade tricks, all right? But on the other hand, if we don't take it with the jack, we're still going to have 2 spade tricks, because we'll still have the queen and the jack. What's the difference? Well, we'll come to the difference in a minute. All right, we've got 2 spade tricks, 2 heart tricks is 4, 2 club tricks is 6. We need 3 diamond tricks. But now we have an obvious question. How do we get to these diamonds? I don't think any North is going to be so silly as to take the first diamond if you lead the king and leave you with an entry to dummy. So we're only going to make 1 diamond trick. They'll take the second one. And then if we win this first trick with the jack of spades, dummy is dead. We cannot get there again to cash these diamonds. If we win with the jack, let's see what happens. King of diamonds. South correctly gives his count, and North holds off. If you've got 2 partners, so as declarer. Take this one now. Plays a spade back. We might play a heart back, which a spade is as good as anything. Now, declarer plays low. South can win the king and play a spade back if he wants to, or he can play a heart. Because if declarer's got 3 spades left, there's nothing he can do about it anyway. Meantime, and declare us dead. He's got 4 more tricks, and he needs 6 more tricks, and he can't make them. He's going to go off 2 off. Let's claim that as 2 off. And put the board back to the table. Three passes again. 3 no trumps. Exactly right, Mike, but there is an answer, of course. Let's have a look. 2 of spades. Now, of course, North may have the King of Spades all the time, in which case we haven't got a prayer. We can't do anything about it. But South has promised an honour by leading the 2 for most people. So it's more likely than not that South has got the King of Spades. And the only entry to those diamonds is in spades. But if we win this with the Jack, then we can't get to that spade. South will win the king if we play a little one, and he'll play a small one if we play the ace. So we're going to win this first one with the ace. And now we've got 2 smaller spades than the queen. And now we'll tackle the diamonds as before. We'll imagine that South has given a count. I just clicked on a diamond there. We've got a Shakespeare addict as well. Well done, Mike. Okay, well, this time we'll lead a half back. Oh no, we won't lead that one back. We'll lead the Queen of Hearts back. We can see what's in dummy. But now this time there's no escape for South. If he goes in with the king, the Queen of Spades is still there. And if he doesn't, then we get into dummy with the Queen of Spades and we make all these diamonds. So let's say he takes his King of Spades. Now what have we got? We've taken 3 tricks. We've got 4 diamond tricks. That would be 7. The spade will be 8. And then we've got ace, king, ace in the other 2 suits. And we finish up with 11 tricks. So we're making 2 over tricks, provided we win that first trick with the ace. Richard III, Mike. Yes, I know. Okay, do we have any questions or comments? How many people got that right? You can tell me if it was made at your table or not. I know Glynis spotted it 10 seconds too late. Okay. Any more questions or comments then on board 3? What's happened here? Something gone wrong with my screen. Oh, there we go. Right, back. Okay. Right, we're going to go on to board 4. Doesn't want to behave. Oh, here we go. Right. Again, there's no opposition bidding. I'm really not sure what bidding sequence this is. I mean, maybe 2 over 1 sequence, although I don't think East has really got enough values to force the game. If they're playing 5-card majors, I'd expect East to show the spade support straight away. But the auction we were given, if you're a member of the IAC, you'll get a message telling you where it is. But I'm sure Sanya will possibly give you the link to the. You'll get a message telling you that the video is available and where you can find it. But I think Sanya probably has the link as well. Okay. Right, so we'll give you the auction that I was given anyway. So it goes 1 spade, pass, 2 diamonds. So I personally would be supporting the spades. Wouldn't be bidding 2 diamonds if I know we're playing 5-card majors. That's we're only playing 4-card majors, so this might be an accord sequence. I'm not sure. 2 spades, 3 spades, like the spades partner. I haven't got quite enough for game. 4 spades. Okay, and the lead we get is the Queen of Hearts. Okay, now we've got a heart loser. We've got a potential club loser. We've got a definite diamond loser, and we may or may not have a spade loser. But what's the tempting thing to do? Well, let's have a look. Looks like we can cross the dummy with a club and take the spade finesse. And then that will happen, if South has got the king of spades. But let's see what happens if we try that approach. Right, so let's cross the dummy with a club. Now, if South is worth his salt, he'll tell his partner, I've got the club's control, partner. I can afford this because my clubs are so good. So we know which suit to attack now. So now, well, we'll take the spade finesse. We'll run the 8 first. That loses. And back comes another club. And now what have we got? Well, we've lost 1 trick, and we're going to lose a heart, that's 2, and we're going to lose a club, that's 3, and we're going to lose a diamond, that's 4. So now we're going to go off. Did we need that spade finesse? Let's claim that as 1 off. Because when the spade finesse was wrong, then we can't make it. Because the opposition will set up a club trick before we've managed to set up anything else. We'll just bid 4 spades this time because we know what the auction is. There's no opposition bidding. Now here's the point. Let's make the Queen of Hearts again. We can afford to lose a spade provided we don't give them the chance to set up a club in the meantime. Because our club loser can go away on diamonds. So our primary objective must be to let them have a spade. Don't cross to dummy with a club to take the spade finesse. And if we cross to dummy with a diamond to do it, then we run into a diamond drop, of course. And we know that's going to happen. The diamonds are not going to be 2.5, 2.5. So instead of wasting that, using that club entry to take a finesse, we're just going to play the ace of spades and another spade. We say we can afford to give you a spade. May continue with hearts now. Then he'll switch to clubs. Last trump is going to be drawn. And now we're simply going to knock out the ace of diamonds. And Declarer has not got any more losers. His club loser is going to disappear on those long diamonds. And if the opposition duck the diamonds twice, well, the ace of clubs still remains as an entry. So we didn't need and we couldn't afford to go to dummy with the club or a diamond to take the spade finesse. We didn't need it. We can afford to lose a spade as long as we don't give them a chance to set up another trick in a side suit. Well, you see, it's just a matter of thinking the way I just thought then. If I'm just trying to make my contract, playing pairs, match points, a bit different because now you're trying to beat everybody else with the same cards. But here we're looking for the safest way to make the 10 tricks that we need. And the safest way is not to cross the dummy and take a spade finesse. Even if it would have won, we're still going to make our 10 tricks. But if it's losing and we give them a chance to set up a club trick, then we can go down. So we don't give them that chance. We say, all right, have your spade trick. I don't care, but you won't get a club trick because I shall be a tempo ahead of you. I shall set up these diamonds before you can knock out both clubs.
But if you're playing imps,
This is where we're talking about imps here.
yes. So if you're playing match points, you don't do
then
that.
you have to think. You have to decide how likely it is. And you, first of all, when you're playing match points, I'll give you a quick tips here about match point play. If you're playing match point, there's a few stages you need to think about. First of all, am I in a popular contract? Am I going to be in the same contract as everybody else? So you look at dummy, I'm in 3 no trumps, everybody's going to be in 3 no trumps. Now, you know, what can I do to make an extra trick that the others can't make? If you're in 5 of a minor, at match points, very few people will be in 5 of a minor. So now you need to think to yourself, well, most people will be in 3 no trumps. And if this is right, and that if this finesse is right, they're going to be making 3n+1, and I'll never catch them. All right. So now I've got to assume it's wrong and play as if it's wrong because I know I'm going to get a bad score if I don't. And if you're in an unpopular contract, you know, you and your partner have overbid. Now, if you go down, you're going to have a bad score because everybody else is going to stop in a part score. So you need to now take any chance you can. You swap your thinking from match points to imps. I'm taking whatever chance I can to make the contract because I'm going to get a bad score otherwise. When you're playing imps teams, then you make it. You take every chance you can to make it. Over tricks are so unimportant that you don't bother about them. If you're defending, you take it off. You don't take risks to try and take it too off. You take it off. Those are the if it's double, then you may think a bit more. But those are the tactics at imps and match points. But an important thing: how obvious a contract am I in? If I'm in a contract that nobody else is going to be in, it's got to alter my thinking. I've got to think, you know, most people are going to be in 3 no trumps, but if the diamond finesse is right, they're going to make it. And now I'm going to book for a bad score. So I'm going to assume the diamond finesse is wrong because that's the only way I can get a good score. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope it makes sense to Glynis anyway. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, please save the board. Yes, I will save it. Okay, so we're claiming our contract this time. You're very welcome, Pat. Okay. Do we have any questions or comments on board 4? Duck the Queen of Hearts. Well, you can, Rattler, but it doesn't help you. I can put it up again if you like. Let's see what happens. In fact, it probably gives you not such a good chance. Let's just have a look. Let's export it to the table again. We'll just bid 4 spades again. But I can see a possible problem if we do that. No, let's have a look. We're just going to bid 4 spades. Now, the way we played the spades was because we didn't want to give the opposition a chance of setting up the club tricks. All right. So if we dock the heart, well, South is probably more likely to overtake it, but he won't play a diamond back. He'll play a club back. No, he won't overtake it because let's say we're imagining that Declare is going to dock it. There we go. And now what's going to happen Yeah, you could be scared of a diamond drop as well. If he plays a diamond back, North ducks it, does he? And then takes the first. But if declarer plays ace and another spade, South won't have a trump to ruff with right now. But you see what happened here if South switches to clubs. We'll come back to the diamonds in a minute. Come back to the diamonds in a minute. At this point, now if we take the spade finesse, because we're in dummy already, now North continues with clubs. And we're back where we were before. Claire's lost 2 tricks and he's still got a diamond loser and a club loser.
Yeah.
Let's undo it and see what happens if South switches to a diamond in an attempt to get a diamond drop. Need to go back and get. Probably would have been quicker. Right, so he overtakes the heart. We're imagining that West is going to duck. Switches to a diamond, say. All right, so North wins and plays another diamond. Because he knows he's going to get in with the king of spades. But now declarer plays ace and another spade, as he was intending to do anyway. And now a diamond from North won't help because South doesn't have any trumps left. If South had 3 trumps, then there might be a better chance of getting a diamond drop. Yes, but there was a danger too that if we dock the first heart, that the opposition can switch to clubs now, and they will set up their club trick before we're able to knock out the trump and the diamond. So it was essential that we took the first heart. Then we're a tempo ahead. We take the heart, we play ace and another spade. Now it's too late. They play a club, we draw the trumps, and we play a diamond, and we've got the diamonds set up before they've managed to set up their club trick, which is why we were not going to cross to dummy to take the spade finesse via a club, because we give them that same chance. It's all a matter of thinking ahead. If I do this, what can they do? And if you ask yourself that question, one of the things to ask yourself, what's the worst they can do if I do this? And if you come up, well, if they do that, I'm really in trouble, then don't do it. Agreed, the opposition are not always garozzo, but if you see the problems coming, then you often find a solution before you get to the problem. You avoid the problem by doing something different. And it may be that you say, well, I'll give up my chance of an overtrick in order to make sure I make the contract. And that's definitely the right approach. Match points, a little bit trickier, as I said. Okay, so here we're going to make our tricks again. There we go. Those are the 4 hands that we've had for tonight. Alan, I expect we'll be back with you again next week with 4 more declarer play hands. And here in the UK, it's around about 10 to 9 now. So lovely to see you all. And thank you for joining us. And I will see you again shortly. Don't forget, Tuesday night, if you're interested, there's the Play and Discuss also in the IAC lesson room with Alan starting round about 7:45. Quarter to 8. And he will be going till 9 o'clock thereabouts. Then I will take over from 9 o'clock till just 10 o'clock or maybe a little bit past. You can come along with your regular partners if you want to, but play or not if you want to. And Alan or I will discuss the hands that you're playing, points in the bidding maybe, certainly points in the play that occur to us.